hot seat now?
There we go. Great.
Can you take the hot seat?
So you've kind of seen, we've been working on this for a while, and tonight we actually put these monologues that they've been working on separately together. They don't really kind of fit in these spots, but this is the first time they've done them together. And we actually had Jack and Beth Ann came and graciously agreed to do this tonight for the first time, never having rehearsed. So they just kind of jumped into the pot right away. And great work, thank you guys. If there's anything that you want to ask them, the actors, or anything that's, you know, about how they worked on this?
It's not real scotch or anything else, other than iced tea. Yes.
I thought the monologues were your like most honest and true work. The two monologues you did towards the end. I'm curious what the shift was for you guys and how you got into that rhythm there with those two pieces.
The rhythm at the end,
Mm-hmm.
the monologues. Go first.
That was actually Laura Lee's doing, how we got into that. If you haven't seen the play, we have come in, when we come in, we've come from a faculty party, and we have this bitter love affair going on, the two of us, and we're always sparring and making up, and we've done some pretty cruel things to each other. And then this couple, Honey and Nick, come in to our house after the party. And so my monologue with him is really to demean him and make him feel a little jealous when I'm all over Nick, the blonde young guy. And I'm not sure how you came into your part of this.
Well, I don't know if you saw during the scene, I clutched a book, and that's
Oh, right.
kind of like my personal object, because in the story, Nick is kind of portrayed as a failure, a loser, because he had written this novel and it ended up getting tossed in the fire. And, well, what people didn't know that he wrote this second novel that got praised by publishing companies. So he saw it as a symbol of, you know, hope for him and confidence that he could do something, that he was worth something. He was not just a nothing that sometimes his wife was making him out to be in front of other people. And during the monologue, I think he sees the young couple too as you know, a young couple coming into the scene, coming in, trying to make their mark, and he's kind of a little bit, he's kind of revolting against that, and he wants to prove himself too. He kind of wants to call out on his wife, some things that she didn't know about, and unfortunately for the young couple, he's using them as an example of his hatred towards things, I guess.
And all our flaws.
Yeah, and all our flaws. It is a love-hate relationship.
It is.
We can be all over each other sexually, but yet in a hostile way. You know, we get along, I guess, but that's about it.
And I had that baby blanket because that represents the child we never had. And we had been playing this game for years that we have this child. And he now will be telling this couple this is all a joke. And then I'm very upset by that. And that's when I really let loose with my monologue, that he has now shared things he shouldn't be sharing. That have been very intimate to us as a couple. So it was fun. Typical of my behavior, because in the play, I actually go and sleep with Nick. Yes, yes. So it goes way beyond.
Well, that point, I started typical.
And, no, you go and sleep with him.
This was typical of her.
No, I'm right.
You try to sleep, but he has insomnia.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just gross, and the couple, the young lady keeps vomiting, and she's up on the bathroom floor, and it's quite a play if you haven't
And
read
that's
it.
what
It's
she
really
does.
interesting.
She's upchucking all the time.
All the
That's
time.
what she does.
And then
Upstage,
comes back and
thankfully.
wants more to drink.
Yeah.
So now, if we were doing this for real, like in a show, this would be what we call previews. You know, so we would be would still be shaping this play, and we haven't. You know, I leave a lot of the blocking and everything up until the last minute, until the actors really discover who they are and why they're saying what they're saying, and then we start fine-tuning things and start, you know, because now they know why they're saying something, they know why they're walking over to this place, or they know why what their motivation is. So now, if we were to rehearse this for another 2 weeks, we would really sharpen up and fine-tune all the little nuances that are really starting to come up, but the characters are now starting to live inside of them completely. So, what did you feel that worked tonight, and what did you feel that you were self-conscious or stopping?
I was self-conscious about my movements, because we don't, we can't put our back to you, which is obvious, we shouldn't do that. So I feel like sometimes I'm moving like sideways when naturally you wouldn't be moving sideways. And I think that just comes from more practice of being comfortable up here, because once we started to put furniture into it, as simple as that may sound, it's a big deal. It changes everything. So now you're not only thinking about your lines, you're trying to remember where the hell you're supposed to be standing, and what's your facial expressions and your body movements and all of that, because if you don't do one thing, that may affect what your scene partner does. If you
Well,
screw
it shapes
that
up the scene, because you wanna be comfortable in your own
Right.
environment.
Right.
And then that helps you kind of feed off your scene partner, kind of reacting to what they're saying, and they're reacting to what you're saying and doing. And having the scene and the ambiance and all that helps to make it happen.
And as I said, this is a work in progress, and we worked on it very slowly. And we started to layer things, and we started to layer different things like the alcohol and the costumes and the props and all of those things, but they've all taken their time and we've done it very slowly, so they really know why they're, for instance, when they drink the booze, they really, it has to affect them somehow, and you can see a gradual decline in their behavior because the alcohol is making an impact. And we worked on all those little kind of things, which are very, very important to what's going on in the scene, in addition to the plot and the subtext and all of that other good stuff. But all of these things are just layering in, and then it's, then we have, eventually, we'll have the whole finished product. But good work. Anything, and yes?
I have seen the play, and I didn't find your movement awkward or...
Oh, thank you. Did I pay you?
No, but they didn't seem extraneous, and you played it more muted than when I've seen it,
Yeah.
which I think works.
Yeah,
It's
thank you.
different, but I think it works.
Thank you.
Yes.
It took time, like Lori said, over weeks.
And
I mean, first we started with, what does your room look like when there was nothing here? What do you want your space to look like? And it's very gradual, it's great.
Right, and I think their interpretation is their interpretation, which is really wonderful, and they found nuances in the script that probably, each actor that takes on a role like Martha or George, will find different ways of playing it, and I think that they've definitely brought themselves to it, which is really the ultimate goal. Yes?
Well, the transition that you had, where you came home from the party and you didn't remember, you had a few drinks there and you didn't remember who the heck you invited back again, and then you got me physically nervous because you were really starting to dig into them. And then your reaction would be what my reaction was, let me have another drink, and I'm better than what you think I am, and I kind of closed my eyes a few times.
And basically, she repulses me, and I probably didn't bring that
That's
to
what he's supposed to
I
do.
probably didn't bring that to the forefront enough,
repulsing
but
you.
I tried to turn away when she was trying to play up to me, and,
I got it.
Thanks.
not handling
No
it.
karate chops or
Well,
physical
yeah.
punches going.
There's a point we can
But
only.
it is a boxing match between
Yeah.
the two
Oh,
of them, it
yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
is. It's
Yeah.
a boxing match, it's also a love match.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just thinking, because this is the first scene of the play,
Mhm.
and to me it makes sense to be kind of muted. There's some foreshadowing going on of it seems to have definitely a potential volatile or tempestuous relationship. And, if you're an experienced reader or playgoer, you probably possibly expect that that's going to become more tempestuous and volatile as it goes along.
Absolutely, and I tell my actors too, when they're choosing their scenes, the scenes have to stand alone, okay, as a little play in its own right. So it has to have a beginning, middle, and end. And even though it's following the logic of the play, yes, we know this is the beginning of the actual play, but within this particular scene, there's a beginning, and there's an arc, and then there's a place where it climaxes. And so we worked hard on that, trying to find where those points are in this standalone scene, because really, these actors they don't know what's gonna happen in the future. And they only know what happened in just a few minutes ago, so they can only play what's happening right now. And so I felt it was very successful tonight, guys, and I feel, I'm very proud of you. And, bravo.
And thanks to my
Yes.
husband who could play the part because he heard me so many
And
times.
thank you to Jack and Beth Ann for
Beth,
jumping
yeah. You guys were
in,
great.
playing characters, and you really totally did, really kind of, it was totally believable and wonderful. Great,
Thanks for the doorbell, Rich.
Good job, Rich.
great. Thank you.
Thanks again.